We are live. So today what we're going to talk about is all the different side hustles I've tried and why most of the online side hustles that you try today are not going to work. And this is coming from someone who's tried loads of side hustles. Some have actually made me thousands of pounds and some have actually lost me thousands of pounds. So I'm just going to show a couple of the few that I've written down here. So one of the first ones is drop shipping. So drop shipping has been going around for 10 or so years. But the problem with dropshipping now is that the internet space has changed. So while it used to be make money while you sleep and run ads on Facebook and Instagram or whatever, the problem is now that Shopify is low margins, high refunds, a lot of people doing chargebacks. And the thing is, people now want next day delivery. So if you're trying to do Shopify, drop shipping, then your product's not going to be delivered next day. People want fast service, next day delivery, Amazon Prime. Fixed. The next one I'm going to talk about is Forex and day trading. Every man and his dog on social media is talking about Forex and day trading. And it's promoted as one of them financial successes, driving a Lamborghini and going to Dubai and etc. Whatever it is. But the problem is that most people aren't actually successful doing Forex. It's number one, you need huge capital, and 90% of people actually lose money doing Forex. I tried Forex and I lost about £4,500 doing Forex, right? So, and I see Forex as it's not a business model, right? You can't scale this business in a sense where you can have people working for you, you can sell the business later on, you've got an exit, etc. Like, it's not a proper business. And the reason why a lot of people promote Forex is that a lot of the guys will just make a commission if you trade on their platform. The next one I'm going to talk about is Amazon KDP. I don't think many people talk about Amazon KDP anymore, to be honest. It's advertised as passive income. What it is basically making a book and selling it using Amazon. It's low profit now. I think the majority of people these days don't have the capacity, the mental capacity to actually concentrate and read a book. So I don't think KDP works well as it probably used to. And if you want to actually scale the business, then you probably need a publishing business, which most of us are not going to have. The next one is crypto. Do you know what? For the past 10 years, people have been talking about crypto, how it's the next best thing, and how it's going to revolutionize or the financial industry, and everyone's going to be using crypto to buy things. I mean, 10 years later, I'm still waiting for this to happen. So if you're putting money into Bitcoin and stuff, yeah, I understand that the markets go up and down and people have actually made millions from this. But I think a lot of people have actually lost money, especially in 2022, 2023, where the crash happened. Like, I know personally people who lost thousands and thousands of pounds. So, in my opinion, I don't think this works as a proper business model as it is. Maybe good for long-term investments, absolutely. But as a business model, as a side hustle, I don't think this is the best way to do it. And there's a special one I'm going to talk about as well, which I haven't wrote on the board, which you've probably seen a lot of influence, especially Muslim influencers on Instagram promoting. Can anyone guess the name? Anyone? So I've been seeing a lot of ads, especially Muslim people, promoting this business model, how it's financial freedom and you can make £10,000 a month. And usually these ads are consisting of people in Dubai flashing the cars and all that stuff. Growth operator SSMA. I think that comes under the same umbrella, to be honest. I think what it is, I think what the term is halal arbitrage agency, or even halal AI arbitrage growth operators. And yeah, these might be great business models in theory, but think about it. And to be completely honest, I get hundreds and hundreds of messages from the people trying to do these business models, or from the people who have bought the courses, for the guys who are promoting this stuff. And all they're trying to do is, okay, you need to do. They're basically using people in the Philippines or Pakistan to either build websites or to create funnels for you, or help you write social media content. Well, and the thing is, so many people are actually doing this. There's massive competition, and it's not really a side hustle. Think about it, because 80% of the work is actually trying to find clients. So if you were in my position 5 years ago, where you were working full time, you've got commitments, you're going to the gym every single day, like you've not got the time to kind of spend eight hours a day on social media messaging people, trying to work with them. And if you're spending 80% on client acquisition, then it's not really a business, in my opinion, right? So that comes to the question: what are we actually looking for when we want to start a side hustle? So what are some of the things that we're looking for when we're trying to start a side hustle in 2025? Who's got some answers? What are we looking for when we're starting a side hustle in 2025? Consistency? Absolutely. Something that has no limit. Scalable, correct. Obviously profitable, yeah. High in demand, of course. Anything else, guys? What are we looking for when we're starting a side hustle in 2025? Like what do we want to see? Competitive. We don't want to. We don't want it to be competitive. Uh, Obviously halal. Yeah, yeah. So I guess halal would be a legitimate. Yeah, not doing fraud or anything like that. Something that can be done long term. Absolutely. So longevity. Reliable source of income. So I'd say reliable source of income. Yeah, I guess that comes with like consistency. Recession proof. Like we want a business model that's recession proof, right? Low startup costs. Absolutely. We don't want to start a business. I don't know. I think first thing that comes to mind when starting a business is like a takeaway. Something's got a really high upfront costs. But yeah, I guess low costs. I guess there's one thing that comes to mind. Does anyone? Has anyone? No one said that yet. So something that you could do from home. What about low risk? Not talked about risk as well. Low risk from home. Passive income. You know what? The reality is, right? There is no such thing as passive income and get rich quick schemes. And do you know what? If there was a way to make passive income and to get money fast, then I probably would have found it by now. But if anyone does find it, please let me know because I've been looking. Ethical. Yeah, I get that. Ethical, legit comes into that. Come on, guys. What else? What else? What are we looking for when we're starting a side hustle in 2025? Passion. I guess it could be something that you're passionate about. Yeah, yeah. You want to be passionate about something that you're starting with. Success, niche item. Cool. So if I don't, these are the things that we're looking for when we're starting a side hustle. A lot of these side hustles out there don't actually fit this criteria. However, there is one that comes to mind, which I'm going to talk about in a sec. But I want to talk about the most popular side hustle in the UK at the moment. So if you didn't already know, actually, let me ask the people that are watching, what is the most popular side hustle in the UK right now? So at 23% of the UK actually do this side hustle. So 23% of the UK actually do the side hustle. Does anyone know what it is? Yeah, I guess marketing, house flipping, buy to rent. I don't think 23% of people do buy to rents, reselling. So I guess reselling is a part of it, right? And what it actually is reselling products, as you said. But what platforms are these people reselling on? Charlie, that's cheeky. Yeah, so Vinted and eBay. Yeah, yeah, absolutely correct. So Vinted and eBay. And it's usually selling used products on these platforms. So 23% of the UK actually do this, right? However, we can actually make this better and make this into a better business model. I'm going to show you exactly how. So adding on to the selling on Vinted and eBay, the only problem with these platforms is that you have to ship all the products yourself. Obviously, if you're selling used products, then you've got a limited supply. What other things can you think of where when you're reselling products on eBay and Vinted? It's not really scalable, is it? Probably can make a couple of £1,000 a year, but other than that, you're not really gonna get anywhere. Poor margins. I guess yeah. If you start to treat the Vinted and eBay model like a business, then obviously you're gonna have to buy the stock. and send it in. But yeah, everyone's looking for a deal, so the margins are going to be quite low. So what we can actually do is build on this and start a business model which is actually scalable, that's got loads of supply. And what it is Amazon reselling. And 90%, why this business model is so good, 90% of UK households actually shop on Amazon. So we've got a massive market to choose from. UK households. 60% of them actually have Amazon Prime. So they'll benefit from next day delivery. So what you can do is use FBA, and then all the people that are subscribed to Prime will benefit from your next day delivery. And when I first started selling on Amazon, around 50% of everything sold on Amazon was by Amazon themselves, and 50% was by third party sellers like me and a couple of the guys watching. However, now 60% of people actually, 60% of everything sold on Amazon is actually by third party sellers like ourselves. So what's happening is the demand for third party sellers like me and you guys is increasing. And I think was it 90% of sellers actually do over £1,000 a year. Well, it doesn't sound a lot. That means that a lot of people actually get a benefit from reselling products on Amazon, or whether they're doing their own private label and stuff. I think was it 30% actually make more than £10,000. So let me explain exactly how this business model works, right? So what we're looking for products on Amazon that are selling well. So we're looking for products on Amazon that sell well. So I would say that I've got okayish competition, not too high. Obviously, we're going to use the revenue calculator or the softwares like SellerAmp to work out, is it actually profitable? And then what we're going to do, we're going to find either retailers or wholesalers for these products. And we're going to use softwares like SellerAmp and Keeper to actually analyze these products. And some of the things that we're looking for when we're doing this is that we're looking for low competition, profitability, that is selling well, that the price history is good. Is there anything else that we're looking for when we're trying to find products on Amazon? Jungle Scout. I don't think you need that. I'm going to talk about exactly what you need to set up. So yeah, that's typically how Amazon FBA works. And let me just break down some of the figures and what you could potentially see if you're selling a product. So if you're looking at a product that's selling on Amazon for, let's say, £20, typically what you're going to do is trying to source this product for around half the price. So we need to find this product for around £10. What that should leave us with after we take away the Amazon fees. So a lot of one of the mistakes that a lot of beginner sellers make is they don't take into account the actual fees between the £10 and £20. So if you actually buy something for £10 and you sell it on Amazon for £20, it's not £10 profit you're making. There's two fees that you're actually going to get charged by Amazon, especially when you're doing FBA. You're going to be charged an affiliate fee and you're going to be charged the shipping fee. And that normally equates to around 30% of the entire sale. So actually £6 is going to go to Amazon. However, that still leaves us with £4 in profit. Which is approximately a 20% margin. Right, so we've spent £10 and we've made £4 in profit. So our return on investment in this particular scenario is around 40%, right? We've got 40% return on investment. So if we were to use this 40% ROI and we were to find multiple products, whether we buy 10 of the same products or we buy 10 of 10 different products, so 100 products in total, right? And we're spending £10, that would be £1,000 spent. So if we spent £1,000 in products with Amazon FBA at a 40% return on investment, let's work out some calculations. So 40% return on investment. That's probably around my average, around 35 to 40%. So if we spent £1,000 in stock, that would leave us with £400 in profit. And typically when you're reselling on Amazon, we're only looking to buy around 30 days worth of stock. So if you spend that whole £1,000 in your first month, you should be looking at around £400 in profit. And then depending on how much you want to make, all you have to do is work backwards. So if you want to make £2,000 a month, then you're just going to work backwards. So £2,000 here, that's going to give us 5k. So if you want to make £2,000 in profit per month, then we'd have to spend £5,000 in inventory. Does that make sense, guys? Obviously, at the end of that month, you're going to have 7k. So if you reinvest that money and put it into the next month's stock, so I recommend putting around 50% of the profit you make back into the business for the next month. So the next month, you might actually have £6,000 to invest. Now you've got £2,400. Now, just imagine you did that every single month for a year. What you'll see is your sales increase, your profit will increase, and that's typically what kind of numbers that you see with Amazon FBA. Our current spend target is £10,000 a week at the moment, right? So what we're doing is we're spending 10k a week on stock with an average ROI of about 35 to 40%. So we're spending £10,000 a week per week. That's generating us around £4,000 in profit per week. Now, the hardest thing for me is to manage that cash flow and make sure that I'm spending £10,000 a week. And that's where the tricky situation comes in. Obviously, if you were like me or you were working full time, I was actually a telecommunications engineer. So I was climbing telegraph poles, I was going into manholes, I was crawling in people's houses. I didn't have the time to spend like 8 to 10 hours a day finding £10,000 worth of week in products. So what I actually did was we leveraged time from assistants in the Philippines. Typically, these are called virtual assistants. So this is one of the things I did. The other thing that I did was use automation sheets. So let me just explain exactly how these work. So two of the main things that are really going to help you, especially if you're running this business as a side hustle, is automation. Let's start with this one first, and we'll put VAs down here. Can anyone tell me what were some of the things that you would automate in your Amazon business? PPC. So that's a really good answer, that PPC. So when you're actually reselling products on Amazon, you don't really need to run PPC ads. The reason being is we're looking at products that are already selling well on the platform. So all we have to do is list these products and find them for a good price. Repricing. So yeah, repricing is one. Brilliant answer. What other things can we automate in our Amazon FBA business to make it so we only need to spend a few hours a day? Inventory management, I guess, is another one. But I guess that comes more with the VAs. I get my VAs to do that one anyways. Order shipping. So because obviously we're doing the Amazon FBA model, like that's already automated for us. So we just need to make sure that we're using FBA, because that's gonna handle the storing, the picking, packing, and the shipping for us. So FBA is gonna handle soon as that product gets delivered to us and we send it to Amazon. That's Amazon's problem. They're gonna store it, they're gonna pick it, pack it, and ship it. All we have to do is manage the pricing. We've got a repricer to do that for us, so it's automatically going to change the prices. Target spend. Yeah, I guess we can use something to hit our target spend. I guess we can track so we can use like this. Google Sheets is what I use for this anyways, to track my spend. Cool. So no one's actually said it yet, but I'm gonna tell you exactly what we use in our business and what we automate in my business, and what allowed me to only spend a couple of hours on the business a day, whilst I was working full time and with my commitments, etc. And the first one is actually adding products to inventory. So adding products to your inventory is one of the most tedious and most boringest tasks in the Amazon business, and especially when you're VAT registered and you need to do the VAT codes and all this stuff. What I've actually done is I've actually created a Google Sheet that does this for me automatically. So this paired with another thing, which is creating the shipments. Creating shipments is another pain in the backside. Create shipments. Anyone who's actually ran an Amazon FBA business at scale will tell you these two things take so much time per day. One of the guys I've actually taught, he actually saves 20 hours per week just using these Google Sheets and the automations that I've created. So that's some of the stuff that you're going to automate with your business in your business. I guess the other things that we're going to use is VAs. So what VAs we are going to be able to do for you is, someone said it before, inventory management. Anything else? What are VAs going to do for you in your Amazon FBA business? Sourcing, brilliant. Reimbursements, yeah, that's a great thing. You can actually use softwares to do this as well, if you really want to. And Amazon have actually improved the reimbursement process massively. So you don't need to do as many reimbursements as you used to before. Sourcing, customer support. We don't need to do the customer support because we're doing FBA. Amazon going to handle that for us. Any others, guys? What are the virtual assistant gonna do for your Amazon FBA business? Is everybody sleeping? Hello, everybody. Wakey, wakey. Make the process automated. That's the whole thing, right? What do you recommend? So yeah, I guess they're gonna do inventory management, sourcing, reimbursements, replenishments. So anything that's sold. Handling cases, case management. So cool. So we can make sure that we're only spending a couple of days, a couple of hours on your Amazon FBA business by using all these different methods. Obviously, the question is how much does it cost to actually run this? And is it actually worth it if you're working full time? How much are you actually going to spend on hiring someone to do this work for you? So believe it or not, one of the things that I do when I'm hiring and training virtual assistants, we set a minimum target spend of around £1,250 per week. Now, remember the calculations that we did before. So, if our VAs are spending £1,250 a week, let's say approximately that's 5k a month, right? Now, can anyone remember if we're spending £5,000 a month on stock, how much profit are we going to make? Anybody remember? £2,000. Brilliant, Prog. So yeah, we're going to make £2,000 a month in profit. So if our minimum criteria for our virtual assistant is to find us £5,000 a month worth of leads, and they're going to generate us £2,000 a month in profit, what if I told you hiring a VA only costs around £300 a month? And they will work for you 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, all through the year. And that leaves us with £1,700 in profit per month, give or take. Now, doesn't this sound like an amazing business model? Now, what if that's the minimum that your VA is going to find you, right? So currently in my business at the moment, I've got two VAs. I've got a manager VA and a sourcing VA. And we're just with the two VAs, we're managed to spend £10,000 a week, right? So this is the absolute minimum. With one VA, I was actually able to do £30,000 a month in revenue. So this is the absolute minimum of what one VA in your business, a good VA obviously, trained by the right person with the right strategies, can generate in your business. So this live is actually recorded on YouTube as well. So if anyone wants to watch this back, you can do. Just subscribe to my YouTube channel. Oh, thanks, Wally. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we've got approximately 10 to 15 minutes left. So we're gonna leave that for a Q&A, right? My name on YouTube is Side Hustle Sue. If you go on sidehustlesue.co.uk, you can see all the softwares that I use. We've also got, do you know what? While I'm here, I'll do a quick breakdown of exactly the steps to get started, right? Because I'm going to show you like the easy ways to do it. So the first thing that you're going to need is obviously a business name. So the easiest way to do this is just go on ChatGPT to get a business name. I recommend you do this before anything. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go on a domain provider. The reason why I recommend using like a professional domain is because if you actually want to do this business seriously and you want to contact suppliers in the future, you're going to need like a serious, proper domain name, right? However, if you're actually sending emails from that domain, it's going to charge you like £10 to £20 a month. However, if you get a domain and you just email forward the domain, so maybe contact at waleedsgoods.com, and you just forward it to like your personal email or something. So I would just do that. So go on Squarespace, get a domain name. It's going to cost you like 20 quid or something. Squarespace, get domain. Once you've got your business name, you've got your domain name, the next thing you actually need to create a business. You can start as a sole trader. However, if you're working like me and you don't want that extra tax liability and you don't really want a massive tax return like I did. I had a crazy tax return. I made a massive mistake. I started as a sole trader and I messed up, and I changed to limited later on. So I'm going to save you guys from making that mistake. So what you want to do is start as a limited company. And the best way to set your company up, companies actually charge you £50 to set a company up. However, if you do this through Tide, there's a link on sidehustlesue.co.uk. You can actually do this for $14.99. And the brilliant thing about Tide, it leads us on to the next step. You can actually create a business bank account with Tide. So one of the issues you may have is when you're first starting a business, a lot of these banks and providers, they won't actually make a bank account for you. So what you'll find is Tide is an easy way, I'd say a bit of a hack to be honest, to create a company and to create a business bank account. Once that's done, the next thing that you need to do is create your Seller Central account. So you want to go on, if you're in the UK, you'd go on sell.amazon.co.uk. So Seller Central account. And once you've done all this, that's pretty much all the setup done. The next thing that you're going to need is an analysis software. So what analysis means is, how am I going to actually figure out if this product's making us 40% ROI, how many times it's selling per month, how many sellers on the listing. There's hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube how to actually analyze products, but you're going to actually need a software. And the software that I use in my business is SellerAmp. And the link to this is on sidehustlesue.co.uk. I get like a £3 commission every time you click this link. So yeah, just go through here, SellerAmp, and obviously if you know how to analyze products, but how are you actually gonna find products and find potential products to buy or to contact suppliers with? So the software that we use, most people use promote Jungle Scout and Helium 10 for this. However, they're very expensive, and if you're a beginner, you don't really want to be spending that much money on doing this. So there's a cheaper way to do it, and it's Keeper. And the reason why people don't promote Keeper is because Keeper do not have an affiliate or a commission system. So I would highly recommend Keeper. And this is about $18 a month. No, €18 a month. And Keeper have actually a database of all the products that are on Amazon. You can put certain filters in there with the ranks, with, for example, minimum £20, sellers on the listing, if you don't want Amazon on the listing, you can put all the filters in there. Keeper will give you results, and then all you have to do is check through each of them and find supplies for that. And then once you've done that, I think that's you're probably going to have to get ungated, right? So my advice for ungating is, what I would do, I would stick to a couple of big suppliers. So maybe some popular brands like Nivea, Dove, Vaseline, and find a wholesaler for these. There's actually one really good supplier that will help you get ungated. So ungated is Harrison's. And you know what, I think Harrison's Direct is actually a massive hack for new sellers. They've got a very high success rate in ungating. So find the first couple of brands that you want to get ungated on, use Harrison's, get ungated, and then go through this process. Put your filters in. If it's a certain brand that you're trying to find, go through Keeper, find the products, analyze them using SellerAmp. And yeah, I think the biggest problem you're going to have here is actually finding suppliers that you're finding on Keeper. So one of the easy ways to actually get started to find products once you've got ungated. So say for example you got ungated on Dove or Nivea or something like that. What you can actually do is go on Quagita.com, and they've got 400 suppliers on there. So Quagita is a marketplace for wholesalers. All the wholesalers list all the products on their platform, and for the first order you actually get £100 with the code SU100. I don't know if you can see that, but it's in the link on the bio anyways. But SU100 actually gives you £100 for free on your first order. So this is a great way to kind of get your first order in, make some profit at the beginning, and if you follow these steps. So if anyone wants to take a screenshot, you've got about 10 seconds. I'm going to rub it off the screen. Amazing. So we've just got IHS in the chat who actually used my Quagita code today and got £100 for free. So yeah, I would highly recommend we're doing that. I think a lot of my students as well, one of their first orders is through Quagita. Right, so what you can do is actually implement these models, do it yourself, watch YouTube videos and learn. However, I actually have a mentoring program where I teach people how to do this. So I'm going to explain exactly what my goal is. And until tonight, it's actually only at £99 a month. So I teach people, my goal is to get you to £10,000 a month using VAs, using automation, with 1 to 2 hours a day from home. And the way that we do this is we have our lessons on our website, we have weekly coaching calls, and we have one-to-one support. So you'll actually be able to work with me and ask me questions for just £99 a month. And this is actually heavily discounted. Normally I charge £2,000 for this, right? And only till midnight tonight, I'm going to run this at £99 a month. I'm going to put the link to this on my website, so on sidehustlesu.co.uk. So if anyone wants to join, I'll keep that open for you now. So yeah, link is on there. what is the success rate of the program. So what I will do on this as well is we will send in your first product for free. And because I will send you a first product for free, I will guarantee you sales within 30 days. If you don't make sales within 30 days, I will give you money back. This is for absolute beginners. My specialty on teaching people how to actually start Amazon FBA is for beginners. Like people who have never done a business before, who've never created a company, had a business bank account, who've never hired somebody before. So I'm going to teach you exactly how to go through these processes. So someone's asking, I've just started my FBA, but my delivery date is for 10 days later. So what you'll find is when you actually send your products to Amazon, it normally goes to Coventry. And what happens in Coventry, they're distributed to the other fulfillment centers. So yeah, your products may have arrived at Amazon, but it's not arrived at the destination fulfillment center. So it'll show a delay in the products, in the delivery date of your products. But once it arrives at the destination fulfillment center, it'll be eligible for Prime next day. How much do I need to start? So you need £1,000 to start at the beginning in products. Can I private message you? So if anyone wants ask me questions, you can either message me down below. There's actually a link to book a call as well. So if you want to book a call, you can do. No worries. I'll speak with you tomorrow. Turn the game. Will you keep the price? Anyone who books a call, what I'll do is I'll be able to give you the link to join from there. But the link on the actual website, sidehustlesue.co.uk, from on my website is going to go dead at midnight tonight. And I'm not going to offer this again, by the way. As I said before, my normal mentoring price is £2,000. So signs of a bad product using Keeper. So one of the things on Keeper is you want to set a minimum seller number of around 3. The reason being is if there's only 1, 2 sellers on the listing, it's either going to be a private label or an IP listing. It's £100 a month, Kosa, and it's a 12-month. I work with you for 12 months. How long will it take to? It would take about 3 to 6 months to kind of learn everything and trying to get a system and a program in place. No, so you want more than 3 sellers on the listing, and you don't want it to be overly competitive. So I'd say less than 10 sellers. Do you have to know? So only you can do this business with spending a couple hours a day. So I'll just give you my situation. When I actually started this business around 4 years ago now, I was actually a telecommunications engineer. So I was climbing telegraph poles. I'd leave at 8 in the morning. I'd get home at like 5 in the evening. So I'd only have a couple hours a day to do this business. So the way I kind of built the business was through this system. So with VAs, with automation, and I was able to do £1 million in sales doing this exact method, and that actually allowed me to leave my job and do this full time. So if you're making 10k a month in turnover, that would typically be between £1.5 to £2,000 a month in profit. 15 to 20% margin is a mentoring one-to-one. It's not one-to-one, but you'll have one-to-one support. So we have weekly group coaching calls, and we also have like 20-30 hours of actual learning on my website. Yeah, blooming, alhamdulillah, like, I'm really grateful and sharing with you guys, man. I love to do it. How is access to FBA for people in the Dominican Republic? No idea, brother. Do we have to sign up today or go book a call first? So you can either sign up now, or you can book a call. We can have a chat, and I can send you the link to sign up. So it's £99 a month for a year. Yes. So quick question: when buying stock as a registered business, do I need to pay VAT? I'm not sure how this part works. So yes, you will have to pay VAT when you are buying stock. When you become VAT registered, once you've done £90,000 in a 12-month period, you'll be able to claim that VAT back. But if it takes 3 to 6 minutes to learn, I will still be able to earn money. Yes, so you should make sales within 30 days. Have I got that here? Will the coaching time be evening because I work too? So the lessons you can actually log in and watch at any time. The coaching calls are normally on a Saturday morning. However, they're recorded as well and you can watch them back. Do you sell in US? I don't sell in the US. I only sell in the UK at the moment. I want to book a call. If you want to book a call, sidehustlesu.co.uk and you can book a call there or just drop me a DM. What if I want to help me get started and everything set up properly? So the way that I've structured the program, everything's in chronological order, and I've done it in like bite-sized videos. So step one would be, for example, going on ChatGPT, creating the name, and going to show you exactly how to do it. Everything's in bite-sized 2-3 minute videos. So yeah, you can watch the videos and follow the steps. If you are stuck, absolutely, we have a ticket system on Discord. So either me or one of the staff members will just reply to your ticket. You can send videos, you can send voice notes on there. Is it worth using for films? Absolutely. You want to use FBA because you want to automate as much of the process as possible. If you're based in the UK, can you sell in other countries? Yes, you can. I think one of the most popular countries that people sell in from the UK is Germany. That actually proper scared me, man. I jumped. uh, do I need a lot of space? So no, because I actually did this for my living room in a small house, right? So you buy the products, you get it delivered to your house, and you want to turn around that product as fast as possible. You send it to the fulfillment centers. You let Amazon do the storing for you. If I'm not VAT registered yet and I'm just starting out, I'm assuming I don't have to pay VAT. You still have to pay the VAT as a non-VAT registered company at the beginning. Am I guaranteed to make sales? So I guarantee that you'll make sales within 30 days, or I'll just refund you and give you money back. Providing you actually started the business and made an effort. If we do this full time after doing part time for a bit, can we make more than absolutely? Like we make anywhere between like £8,000 to £12,000 consistently every single month. And this is literally spending a couple hours a day, by the way. So when I left my job, I spent more. So I still ran the business as I did for like 1 to 2 hours a day, and I started to do more social media, focusing on health and fitness. I'm good to book now. No worries, no worries. Last couple of minutes, and we're gonna call it a day, guys. Is it worth it for those that aren't complete beginners? I mean, I've helped people who were doing £30,000 a month, and we put our systems and processes in place, and we got them to like we should be hitting 6 figures a month, 150K a month by the end of the year. Just out of curiosity, go on. Is it worth sending straight to Amazon warehouse? Yes, that's what you want to do, but the suppliers won't send to the fulfillment centers for you. How much is it to sell on Amazon? I think the Seller Central account is around £30 per month. What is the profit when making 30K a month? Your typical margins are going to be, depending on how good you are, 15 to 20%. So it would be like £4,500 to £6,000 in profit per month. Can you change your business model later on? Absolutely. So I've tried loads of different ways to sell on Amazon, but currently what we're doing is we're doing arbitrage and wholesale. We've got a couple of bundles in there, and we're launching a private label product soon, which will be on Amazon and TikTok. Kind of 16-year-old start. I believe you need to be 18. What kind of handwriting is that? Excuse my handwriting. How do you ungate on a new account? So one of the things that I help you do is get ungated on the brand that we've got in stock. I'll tell you exactly the steps and processes on how to do it. Doctor handwriting. Yeah, there you go. I'm not a doctor, but And we're dedicated to 30k turnover. So we got to 30k turnover per month in about 4 to 5 months. However, I was spending probably a little more than average, probably like 3 to 4 hours a day on the business. And I did start at a really good time. So I actually started October, November time, right? Whereas anyone who's starting now, you'll be able to spend September, October actually learning the business. And what happens in November and December is that the sales go through the roof. Obviously, it's Christmas time, right? So people are after gifts, perfumes, toys, games, etc. One of the things that we're actually doing now for all the students is we're buying a lot of toys and games in bulk, so we can actually send them in ourselves and actually sell to the students as well. So behind this whiteboard, we've got loads of toys and games that we've actually recently bought. I don't, you guys have probably seen the Funko videos that I've done as well. We've got hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of Funkos. What's a VA? A VA is a virtual assistant. We hire and train them. I heard Amazon is strict on box dimensions. Yes, they used to be stricter on box dimensions. However, now the box dimensions are, I think they're about 90 centimeters cubed. It's not as bad as it used to be. If you want 10k net profit, how much money do I need to invest? So the easiest way to calculate this is just times it by 3. So you'd probably need about £30,000 in. You need to spend £30,000 in a month in stock to make that. I don't sell a course. I have a mentorship program. What kind of automation are you talking about? I've created my own Google Sheet, which automates a lot of the process. We've spent thousands of pounds developing this. Amazon discontinues in-house. So yeah, Amazon are discontinuing in-house FBA prep, but we're not asking Amazon to do the prep for us because that's quite expensive. They charge, I think, £1 something to prep it for us. We're gonna prep this in-house, so it's fairly simple. All we're doing is we're sticking these like barcode labels on the products that we're sending in. I mean, it literally takes seconds. How to book a call. sidehustlesue.co.uk. I think my availability is... Oh, my calendar was full. Let me open up some slots. Hang on, guys. Right. The calendar got full, surprisingly, so I've opened up some more slots. So we've got, yeah, you can book more slots now. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna end the YouTube one anyways. So if anyone wants to watch this back, it's gonna be live on YouTube. Side Hustle Sue, links on sidehustlesue.co.uk. But thank you everybody for watching.